Do you guys remember the Rolling Stones? I remember. Do you know what they did? Oh, this was a long time ago. Many of you probably don't know. There was an activist, a feminist, and she claimed that she got violated at a fraternity. So, of course, the Rolling Stones were there and asked for her story. What they didn't do, though, was to actually talk with any of the alleged perpetrators. I mean, who cares about their version of events, right? The Rolling Stones had their story, got their click. Turns out that the fraternity gets vandalized. The university shut it down. People were spitting on the fraternity members on the street. Horrible. Eventually, it turns out it was a hoax. This is the Rolling Stone. Very progressive, forward-thinking, empathetic, kind publication, okay? It is for the good of the society they live in. That's what the Rolling Stone is. So when they warn me about Gamergate, I am scared. I'm looking at the Rolling Stone. Oh, wow, 2023, Gamergate again. What are they doing now? What are they doing, those evil, evil people? Oh, they're not purchasing Call of Duty. Horrible. I mean, look, this is going too far. I would say jail time. Jail time. If you do not purchase Call of Duty, you need to be in prison. You're a danger to society. I mean, look at this, right? Another multi-billion-dollar corporation is in the crosshair of the anti-woke right. I mean, the corporation is getting bullied. Like, if a multi-billion-dollar corporation is getting harassed by random twats on the internet, what chance do you have? Do you know what you need to do? You need to be afraid and you need to read the Rolling Stones. Go on the Rolling Stone, read the click on every article so that they can keep you informed, but more importantly, afraid. Apparently, this time it's Activision Blizzard, the 5th largest video game firm in the world. Aggrieved reactionaries. Yes, reactionary is horrible. On the road to communism, we keep getting these bumps, like as we're driving with our car, with our electric vehicle, you know, we're driving, and we get to hit the bumps on the road, like, these are the reactionaries. These are the people that are like, hey, you know, we don't like your policies, you're taxing us too much, you're lowering our standards, shut the fuck up, you're a reactionary. You know, like, this is who we need to fight against. These are the reactionaries. As with so many of these stories, the inciting controversy is ridiculously minor. I do agree with the Rolling Stone, right? You have this gentleman, FaZe Nick Marks, which posted they should leave little children alone. That's the real issue. Incredibly controversial in America today under the Democrats, right? You cannot say these things and be on the good side of history. Like, Blizzard had to step in. Like, this is not... How can you say, leave children... What is wrong with you? What would their parents say? What would FaZe Nick Merck's mother have to say about him uttering such nonsense over the internet? Leave little children? Are you crazy? I am so happy that the multi-billion-dollar corporation, Blizzard, as the Rolling Stone puts it, the 5th largest in the world, had to step in. And they did justice. Not any type of justice, but social justice, okay? They cracked on Nick Merckx and took away his merch. They took away his prestige. He does not deserve it. You cannot have political takes that go against the corporate interests. Like, when you work with the corporation, you need to become their slave. Anyone that disagrees with this is a reactionary. They are the problem, right? We need to create a society where the corporation gets to dictate what the people are and aren't allowed to think. And the government gets to dictate what the corporations are allowed to think. And the World Economic Forum gets to dictate what the governments can think, right? Like, everything needs to be hierarchical. It would be beautiful. It would be perfect, right? This is what human beings are made to do, to obey. Like, you, as an individual, obey the corporation, who obeys the government, who obeys Klaus Schwab, who obeys BlackRock, right? I mean, this is what the Rolling Stone is trying to accomplish here. Apparently, Activision removed Nick Marks. They punished him. Now, apparently, it's the same right-wingers who largely pounced on Bud Light. See, I do have to comment a little bit on this. I don't think it's the same right-wingers, right? Like, the 45-year-old dad who drinks beer, lives in a rural community, and watches sports, probably isn't the same type of person that plays Call of Duty. I would hazard to guess. I'm not an expert, but I do think that maybe the targeted demographic is a little bit different. But anyway, right, look, they punished Chick-fil-A. Horrible. You know, when the left was punishing Chick-fil-A, that was progressive, forward-thinking, revolutionary. Now that the right is punishing Chick-fil-A, that is reactionary, bigoted, and homophobic. Apparently, efforts to expand diversity. See, this is the peak human achievement. To expand, like constantly, diversity needs to expand. And inclusion. Everyone needs to be included by getting people fired. Like I think actually, this is the first time I read about inclusion in an article where someone didn't get fired. They got punished though. Like they got removed. Their merch got removed from the store, so we can talk about inclusion. Inclusion can only be talked when someone gets kicked out. Okay, like this is the only time you can talk about inclusion according to the media. So anyway, apparently, this has to do with the LGBTQ, right? So if you attack Blizzard, you're attacking LGBTQ. This is what the Rolling Stone is saying. The multi-billion-dollar corporation is the LGBTQ now. Do gay people want to be represented by Blizzard? I mean, if you guys don't know, it has been under multiple sexual allegations lately. See, this is my question. Do LGBTQ folks, did they get consulted when Rolling Stone decided to administer Blizzard as their representatives? So if I don't buy Call of Duty, I am hurting the gays? Is this the stance that Rolling Stone wants to take? Pretty interesting stance. I think that the gays may disagree, but I'm not an expert. So apparently they're talking about Call of Groomers, which was pushed by Tim Pool, lives off TikTok. And apparently, on first glance, the wave of indignation over companies' nominal endorsement of Pride. Yeah, but it's not the problem that they had the nominal endorsement of Pride. See, I understand that you're a journalist, but come on, like, try to keep up with reality. It's difficult, I know, the struggle is real. Like, when you become a journalist, reality escapes you. So you have to make, like, a huge, monumental effort in order to keep up with the rest of us, but the problem wasn't that they were promoting Pride, because every single American company is promoting Pride, right? Like, there are very few that don't. Now, the issue is that the man said, leave the kids alone, and Activism Blizzard decided to step in, which is bad optics. Not good PR. As the internet likes to call it, it's a self-report. Okay, so now the Rolling Stone is saying that almost a decade ago, they remember, because they got hurt a lot, you know? It's the peasantry. It's like the peasant revolt. It's like the nobility saying, like, 10 years ago, the peasantry got their pitchforks and decided not to work on the plantation anymore. And we were so afraid, but luckily we made an example out of them. And we must make sure that never happens again, that the peasantry never thinks... Listen, Gamergate were predominantly left-leaning individuals. Like, we still have the political compass that they took. The explanation that, oh my god, they were misogynistic, maligned as an army. Why would they be misogynistic? Like if I like video games and I happen to meet a woman that also likes video games, that's called something in common, you know, like things that happen to be in common. Look, you need to explain the human experience and human behavior to journalists because they just don't understand. Right? Like they isolate themselves in California, and you may say, well, they're not from California. Look, California is not an actual place in the real world. It's a state of mind. You understand? This is like, it's a mental issue. So, when two human beings of opposite genders have something in common, that's a good thing, journalist. That's a good thing. That's not a bad thing, right? Like, people do not become misogynistic because the opposite gender shares the same hobby. Of course, they're not going to mention anything about Christina Hoff Sommers, which is a university professor and was on the side of Gamergate. They're not going to mention anything about Liana Kurzer, which was a journalist and was sympathetic with the movement. No, of course not. It's like, everyone, out of a sudden, you know, everyone just didn't like women in video games. The explanation, Rolling Stone. Anyway, horrible publication, Jesus. Not to mention, it's like, look at this. Apparently, they vented their fury at what they saw as progressive and feminist value in video games. And do you not think that those completely co-opted the AAA industry to the point where Capcom had the audacity to give Cammy her classic costume, and journalists started crying over it. Like, literally, it's almost like they got affected or something, right? Because they completely forgot how it's like to see a female in a bikini that's on the video gaming screen. Like, they're shocked at this. It's like, what? Like, pixelated women? What is this? No, like, go on OnlyFans. Go on Twitch. Like, watch someone's daughter sell her breasts online to some other person's son. Like, that is progress. That is what we want. That is the society we live in. What are you talking about? Like, a female character that's fictional. Horrible. Like, all of those need to look like that chica from The Last of Us 2. What do you mean, like, look like Cammy? There. Go watch OnlyFans. What is wrong with you? Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.